Hey there, everybody. Sorry about that. Just need to do that right before it started talking. By the way, I do apologize for what happened to my last video. My brother was actually not supposed to come in until 20 minutes later, but what happened is that the person that he cares for actually scraped him on the face. In fact, there's actually even 2 weeks later, you can still see some of the scrape from the person that my brother cares for. And so he came, instead of going to get stuff and coming 20 minutes later, he came in 20 minutes early. God damn, excuse me. But and so he came in, and he's not really the kind of person that likes to be on camera or be seen at all on YouTube. And so I just had to shut down the video. So there you go. But other than that, of course, this video is about the comments and questions, and I'll get started on that right now. God, why do I have to always clear myself like that? Let's get fucking clear, I swear. But yeah, I've been busy. So first comment here, and this is actually a question. They asked me, God damn, sorry. They asked me, what about Rosemary Dolls? I said, sorry for being really late. I said, it's okay. I still get plenty of messages on some of my older videos. That's a site that's been around for a long time and is legit from what I've seen. They just said, thanks for telling me. But yeah, it's just funny because after all of the really strange sites that people have been asking me about, suddenly I have been getting a lot of sites, brought up that are older sites than that people are asking me about. They're just simply asking me, is this a legit site? And it's like, yeah, this site's been around for like 10 years, man. It's a popular site. But it's kind of like I said before, this was kind of also a situation where they literally could have just typed in, is this site legit, in the search, and they would have gotten their answer right there. But I will answer people when they ask me if a site is legit or not. But moving on to the next one. This person states, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. Trusted and well-reviewed vendors seem to be the only way to go. I'm saving up for my doll, and cheap isn't going to go well. It's still cheaper than a woman. And I even stated to him, well, you could even pay 20K for a doll, and it's still cheaper than a real woman. Shit, you could pay 50K for a love doll, and it'd still be cheaper than a real life woman long term. Especially if you're getting married with her and everything. If you get married with them, that's another 30K or more out of your bank. Depending on what kind of wedding you're trying to make, of course, etc. Then there's kids, the GIF. But moving on from that, person asked me, is a silicone doll too heavy, and can you move her around? I said, per square inch, I'd say maybe slightly heavier, but most silicone dolls are made close to the same weight as TPE dolls, and yes, you can move them around, all the same. But as far as the real doll I have, it's a little more flexible than your average, I would say, most TPE dolls. And so when I tend to have to lift her up, it's kind of a drag lifting her. Instead of 85 pounds, it feels like I'm lifting over 150 pounds. And so there you go. But also when it comes to carrying love dolls, the reason why it's so hard for people to carry them around is because you have to extend your arms out. And our arms really aren't made as much to do that, although you can extend your arms out. Our arms aren't made to carry heavy weight like that so much when they're extended out like that. So moving on to the next one. I had to close out something there. person says 2023 and the stigma is still there. And I said, yes, it is, but at least it's not as bad as it used to be. And the stigma that they're talking about is just simply the stigma towards the love doll owners, like myself and others. But like I've stated before, that's the reason why I started this channel in the first place, is to, just teach people, there's just nothing wrong with the products. There's nothing really wrong with your average love doll owner, and most people that are, what was I going to say? All right. What I was going to say is most people that have a love doll are actually just your average Joe. And, there's also the dedicated, love doll community, but that community is kind of small and they kind of have their own little forums, that they go to. So, just don't listen to those fucking assholes, by the way. Because, yeah. This person states 2 divorces and shit dating experience has made me want to get a love doll. I've slept with 13 women and half of them were headaches or cheaters. And of course, this person is one of the people that they aren't just coming on here and they're just saying, "Oh, just fuck women." They at least started saying that per se, but they are stating, there's an issue with relationships. It is very hard to find somebody that is serious versus somebody that's not serious. But I replied back to them, yeah, I've heard that plenty of on here. I wouldn't expect too much of reality, which is what I think is the biggest issue. So when people finally do get to do these things, it's not what they thought it would be. And it's not what they thought it would be like. And many nowadays don't care to be committed to anyone because it's much easier lots of times to not be in one. And people that say otherwise are lots of times fake people trying to give off a fake appearance, but no one real cares about what they say, of course. But it just kind of makes me laugh lots of times when, some of the people that are kind of, I would say, kind of trying to feed their egos, always try to show off their marriages, etc., like they're perfect. And, no relationship is perfect. Let me tell you, no relationship is perfect. You're always going to, every relationship has its issues, even if it's a good one. But, I'm also not going to state that getting into a relationship is a bad thing either, because there are people that I know that have good relationships and they seem to be doing just fine. They're happy. So there's at least that. But moving on. My name is Ace. I have watched the channel for months now. I started watching for the love dolls, but I was delighted to discover your intelligence and understanding of the human race. I'm an ex-troll. I am ashamed of that, but I have changed. Your philosophy on life has shown me a much better way of dealing with things. I was working on it before, but now since I saw your videos, it helped a lot. I just wanted to thank you and let you know that you have a genuine subscriber that appreciates you. Have a good day. I say to him, thanks. I'm glad to hear it. I do get people like to play around on the internet, but sometimes people aren't experiencing the moments. They sometimes might either take it too far or they get too comfortable, and then there's the people trying to use it to flush out their feelings, only to either stay in the same place or make it even worse. But, of course, the thing is, for somebody to, get help, they also have to want the help. Of course, I'm not trying to force help on anybody, but I will tell people if I disagree with what they're doing, or I might try to tell them what I think about what they're doing, etc. I will at least say that, but of course, we'll never ever force anybody to watch my videos or try to force help on them, which I think is sometimes what people think I'm trying to do, but that's not what I'm trying to do. You can't really do that in the States, with freedom of speech, but, there's also the freedom to not watch what people are saying on videos. So moving on from that. This person states, to me, my doll becomes any female I wish, or even take the role of past girlfriends or current media stars or girl next door, or even some medieval peasants, or a slave I bought at an auction in Roman times. With my doll in bed, I literally travel in time and build wonderful fantasies. And I just said to him, sounds like fun. Again, they aren't just saying bad things about women. They're just stating, hey, this is just something I like to do, for this reason. I like to role play, etc. This person says, hi, I got a silicone doll, brand new. I need some advice, please, on makeup as it faded my new doll. It faded on my new doll. Sorry about that. I noticed this whilst I washed it. Also, didn't use water-based oil. The nipple and private parts faded slightly after use. How do I restore this with makeup? What makeup do you advise, please? I do appreciate your help. I am so upset with myself as it was a little pricey experience for me. I mean, it's always going to be at least a little bit pricey when you're buying a love doll. Even a cheaper one is like $1,000. So, and yeah, it is a shame sometimes when something happens to it, because it's like you just spent like $1,000 to $2,000 on it. Something happens to it. Oh my God. Ugh, it's a headache. But I said to him, it's basically the same as using real makeup, but in some areas such as the nipples and maybe the lips, use brown lip gloss to put the brown lips gloss precisely where you want it, leave it for maybe 10 seconds, then take the excess off with a towel to give it a natural pink. And I also gave him a video showing how you could actually put the makeup on a love doll. And later on, he thanked me. And this person states, the bad mouthing women don't actually own dolls because they didn't. Here, I'll restart that one. I think the way they typed it is a little confusing. The people bad mouthing women don't actually own dolls because if they did, they wouldn't have a reason to badmouth women. I got a doll because of bad experiences with women. However, now that I've got a beautiful doll, I couldn't care less about human women, good or bad. And I say back to them, I think if they really hated women that much, they'd just date men. Lots of laughs, but it seems you just prefer to be by yourself. You just need a lot of time to yourself, but you might get some reading your comment, and they might think that you're trying to replace women with a doll. Now, it's very hard to, have people understand what you're saying, because I do understand what he's saying. He's not meaning it like that, but somebody else might read that and think, oh, this is, some nut trying to replace women with a love doll, when somebody else might read that. And that is also very hard on my channel, getting people to understand what I'm saying, and sometimes people might try to change what you're saying on purpose. It's a real drag sometimes. But moving on. I'll probably have to drink on this one. Not alcohol. This person states, hey, I have a question, or asks, about what you said about the inserts. You said that you can just take the insert out and clean it, and if you won't have to take it and clean it, and you won't have to take the doll to the shower to clean her. But as far as I know, you can only put the inserts into the doll using lube on the outside of the insert, meaning when you take the insert back out, there will be some lube left inside of the doll. One that have to be cleaned out just the same as like you would even have an insert or not. And I say to him, what I was saying is the insert just makes it easier to clean the most important parts before doing the full cleaning up once a month or so. But if any other spots somehow have excessive dirt, etc., it's good to clean those too in the meantime. And then he states back to me, does that mean it's possible to leave the lube? I'm good. Does that mean it's possible to leave the lube inside without a problem, or about a month until the next monthly full cleaning up? He's asking me a lot. I'm trying to figure out all the advantages and disadvantages of an insert. As far as I think that's one advantage, that's just in case it's some mold would grow inside the doll because it wasn't recently dry or whatever would be the problem, because the mod that was inside the sleeve, you just throw it away and just take the new sleeve. And if the mold is outside the sleeve, you wouldn't just really touch it because you only touch the inside of the sleeve. But for cleaning it, I didn't see any advantage because I thought that still after every single use, you'd have to take the doll to the shower to clean out the lube, and you'd have to clean the sleeve additionally. Also, then you will not using the doll, there would be no sleeve in it because you need lube to put in, which means you'd also have to do that before every use instead of simply using the doll. Nice. And then I replied back to him. And I just said back to him, it just depends on how dirty it gets. But it just makes it so you don't have to pick up the doll if you only need to clean the inserts. And it makes it so it's easier to clean it better when you take out the inserts. Because, well, I'll read the rest of this. As far as any outside of the insert still in the doll, use only enough lube to help the insert go in, and just wipe it out with a clean rag, not a paper towel. And yes, I do prefer the fact that you can just replace the insert when it's damaged instead of the whole doll. Hey there. Oh God, secret admirer. But yeah, just when it comes to this kind of stuff, just don't make it too complicated. And yeah, just don't use a paper towel, because the reason why you don't want to use a paper towel is because sometimes there will be dirt getting into the leftover, particles left over from the paper towel. So just don't use a paper towel, just use a rag. And this person states to me, because I've been getting this all the time on how to keep your loved doll a secret video. This person says, why keep them a secret? Display them proudly. If somebody has a problem with it, maybe take their opinion into consideration when they start making your rents and like bill payments, maybe. There's nothing wrong with having them. There's every reason to show them off and enjoy them. They are works of art. I said, okay, look, you're the 10th person I'm telling this to. There's nothing in this video that states it's wrong to have your loved doll out in the open. I only advise it under certain circumstances. By the way, your landlord doesn't have a legal right to tell you to put it up unless it's sitting outside unless it's sitting outside of the apartment. Don't just have your loved doll sitting out in the open out of your apartment or house, usually anyway. But that's actually not very good for it to do it anyway, because especially if it's a really sunny day, it will actually discolor it and even damage it some. But anyway, moving on from that. He said, I was only making a general statement mainly for the others to read. Others who may be deciding to get one but feeling embarrassed. I wasn't saying anything towards you. It was like, okay, just making sure. But he states back, no, three, all, all four of these dolls for lots and lots of reasons. I hate the stigma that comes with them concerning the sex aspect of them. They make the most incredible companions if you just allow your imagination to run free a little bit. They're way, way more than just sex dolls, especially when these negative opinions come from people who are most likely sexual deviants themselves, who live in an entire society that is based on very heavily in sexuality. Now, all of a sudden, these are a problem for them and classify people like us in the most horrible ways, question mark. They truly make me sick. I am an absolute shut off on me. I'm an absolute advocate and appreciate what you do. I enjoy your channel and the information and passion you share. You were the one to influence. You were the one of the influences in the beginning that helped me step into the doll world. I said thanks, and I'm glad you enjoyed the channel. Not everyone knows this stuff, which is why I still talk about it sometimes. Of course, I could care less if anybody actually gets a love doll, but I'll at least tell people that it doesn't hurt anything. It just depends on what you want to do with your products, your life, etc. But yeah, that's not really the general thing about this channel. I don't really care if people actually get a love doll, but again, I will show people that there's nothing wrong with it. And, I will help people out with their love dolls, etc. Moving on. This one kind of made me laugh. I made a video talking about why people need to stop playing GTA 5, and then this person states, to me, 2 words, second job. I don't really think he watched the whole video. And so I stated back to him, a second job for what? Playing a game I don't really play anymore? Question mark. And then he said, I just meant farming in GTA takes forever. At least last time I farmed, which was the MK2 weapons. And I said back to him, that's how it is with most games these days, and it's because they want to keep you with the game to get you to buy more content. And it makes it so you have less of a chance to play other games, but at least in GTA 5, if you do it right, you can get somewhere with enough work. I've seen plenty of games recently you have to play a lot for only a little bit of reward. You basically have to pay just to get anywhere in the game. And then that was the last comment. Yeah, they're answering their question there. But yeah, there's a video there. Of course, keep up with the comments. I'll keep on answering them, and I'll try to bring up the more interesting comments or just comments in general that I get on the channel. But, just on a rare occasion, I will either get a negative comment from somebody. Sometimes I'll get plenty of negative comments from people. And, of course, I don't really give them any attention unless I am telling them something, that I want to tell them. Or if we are at the very least, having an interesting conversation about something. But otherwise, I don't put their comments on here, because I sometimes just think that they're trying to look for attention. But yeah, and also, this is not a hater channel, because on a rare occasion, I will also see the guys that will be like, oh yeah, fuck women, or something like that on my channel. And sometimes I'll delete their comments, and sometimes I'll say to them, hey, this isn't that kind of channel. And at least one of them was like, oh, okay, and just walked, and then they just went away. Yeah, I don't. I pretty much just ignore them. But moving on from that, I'll just end the video here. Of course, if you have any more comments, questions, just leave them by, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.